As many as 80 shots were fired here.
You ain't buy me no chip?
Chicago Fire Department confirming 3 people were shot.
He was charged for shooting somebody in the face.
Yeah,
twice.
Was clearly a lot of gunfire. It's not just right in front of the store, but up and down the block as well.
A lot of things are coming out now that Stain has passed, you know, like it always does. One thing that they've always said, they've been said that Stain was like the GD's King Von. They've been said that in the interview. They've been when Stain was alive, they said that.
His name already top tier, like he the Von. For like if you want Von over here, it'll be Stain. But guess what? Von did more capping than anything, a lot of extra social media shit. Stain wasn't doing that social media shit. Stain was just straight street nigga. And rapping, but he was just straight street nigga. So it play out different, you feel me? Like, now if you get out and do all the internet capping, you never know. But guess what?
Stain was allegedly involved in like 4 murders, right? Now y'all know SCN loves some free cash, so I had to try this. And the good thing about it is, you could be in the bed, you could be at work, hell, you could be on the toilet and make money. Why not? Gas is high as hell out here, y'all. Get up to it. Either hit this QR code right here or click the link in the description and win some of this frizzle kizzle. You had a couple people from Face World that ended up being taken out. You had Tay-Town people that was being taken out. You know, they saying that Stain killed a guy named Juju. They saying that Stain is the one that actually started the war between Wugaworld and Face World. You know, there was also a guy named Marty that got took out. Stain name came up in that. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the situation of where Stain walked up on the guy, Lil Wayne, and shot him point blank range in the face. No bond for man charged with shooting man in face at point blank range. On August 19th, in broad daylight, Willie Wheeler shot Dwayne L. Thomas twice in the face as the two argued in front of several witnesses outside a building in the Southside Greater Grand Crossing neighborhood. But while an accomplice was taken into custody the next day, Wheeler remained on the lam until Wednesday night when he led the police on the chase through the South Side before being captured. On Friday, Judge Ada Burgios ordered the 21-year-old Wheeler held without bond. Prosecutors say that about 1:20 p.m. on August 19th, Wheeler and Devontae Watson saw the victim on a porch in the 4700 block of South Harvard with 2 friends, and Wheeler and Thomas got into a verbal argument as other witnesses watched from inside. Wheeler then pulled a gun and from point blank range, shot Thomas twice, once in the chin and once in the cheek, prosecutor said. Thomas's friends turned to run and Watson tried to fire a gun at them, but it jammed. Thomas, 20, died at Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oaklawn less than an hour later, according to the police in the Cook County Medical Examiner's office. Watson, of the 4700 block of South Normal, was arrested the day after the shooting. He was charged with murder and has been held on a $1 million bond, according to Cook County Sheriff's Office. About 9:30 p.m. Wednesday, officers spotted Wheeler in a vehicle at a gas station near 76th and State, according to prosecutors. As officers approached, he sped away, and a man in the back of the vehicle pointed a weapon at the officers, prosecutors said. One of the officers fired toward the vehicle, but no one was hit. Wheeler's vehicle ran through several stops before it crashed into a pole in another vehicle in the 9500 block of South Halsted, where both men got out of the car and ran, prosecutors said. Wheeler was found by a K-9 unit hiding in the garage about an hour later, prosecutors said. Officers recovered a weapon from the vehicle, according to police. Wheeler, of the 7800 block of South Avalon, is charged with murder and resisting an officer. He has previous convictions for aggravated unlawful use of a weapon in 2011, possession of a stolen vehicle in 2011, and a reckless conduct in 2015. Stain ended up being locked up for that murder. Now, according to Stain, it went a whole different way. Stain actually talked about this on a No Jumper podcast.
There was a situation between what, like some of your friends and another group of people?
One of my homies and somebody else.
Okay.
But real shit, I went over that diffused situation. Dude had his heat out the whole time, so shit. I'm talking to him, still trying to diffuse the situation. He did what he did and shit. I'm still here.
So he upped it on you, but then you just managed to have a better shot?
When I popped up on him, he already had it out. But
he ended up doing 10 years, nothing but 10 years behind that murder. I also found it ironic that Stain was taken out a couple days before Lil Wayne's birthday. Lil Wayne is the guy that he killed. Lil Wayne's birthday was May 12th, 1995. You know, Stain was taken out May 8th. Lil Wayne mama got on the internet and told him like, shit, you can get your arrest now. You know, we finally got our justice. And it's sad to say, but these parents out here hurting, man. These parents out here hurting behind all of this bullshit. These parents out here hurting. That's who we hurting the worst. You know, Stain will always be at that store. That's the neighborhood store. You know, that's where everybody be at. They always be at that store. They was even seen in that Baba TV interview. They at that same store that they had that shootout at.
So he grew up in the hood. Like his hope was he born and raised there. Like he moved over.
Got too many people in the store right now. Yeah, no, folks came over here, and me and folks locked in, and they been locked in there since.
Oh, okay.
Like that's my brother, folks.
That's the same store, and they stood out there for I don't know how long, at least 20 minutes. You know, and I thought that was dangerous. So the ops knew that they always be at that store, and Stain would go up there. That was like Stain's hangout. So Stain was like at a known location, like a lot, like all the time. Real talk. He a real face around there. That's how he was moving. He'll go to that store. He'll just be chilling at that store sometimes. Him and his guys. Now it was over 80 bullets fired. So that tells me that guess what? It was a shootout.
Investigating the shooting, and based on the number of evidence markers we're seeing on the ground, as many as 80 shots were fired here. The shooting happening around early afternoon near 75th and Harvard, apparently right in front of a convenience store. The Chicago Fire Department confirming 3 people were shot. One was pronounced dead on scene. Another victim drove or was driven to a hospital, and a third victim was transported by ambulance. The genders, ages, and conditions of those victims unknown at this hour. As I mentioned, there was clearly a lot of gunfire. It's not just right in front of the store, but up and down the block as well. And at one point, we did see police bringing evidence markers inside the store, so it's unclear if perhaps there was gunfire inside as well. What led to all of this is still being investigated, but a sprawling crime scene right now, and it's worth mentioning this all happening about half a block away from an elementary school during the day as class was in session, so this is obviously alarming to those families as well. I talked to a teacher off camera a few moments ago who said that the school did go on lockdown right after that gunfire happened.
Let's start with some breaking news here at 4 o'clock. Shots fired in a store on the city's far south side. It happened just before 1 o'clock. Good afternoon to you. I'm Lourdes Duarte. Andrea Medina is live at that scene near West 75th and Harvard with the latest on what we know so far. Andrea.
Hi, Lourdes. Well, the scene is still very active here, and throughout the afternoon, we've seen investigators going in and out of A&J Food Market, collecting evidence and trying to piece together exactly what happened. Now, we counted at least 58 evidence markers outside the store. It's still unclear whether the shooting started inside or outside the market, or whether any of those involved were customers or employees. Details are still limited at this hour, but we are hearing 3 people were shot, and fire officials say at least 1 person was transported to the hospital in critical condition. A woman we spoke with says she was on her way to the store to pick up snacks, and he comes here several times a week for fresh produce and other everyday items. She says it's upsetting to see this kind of violence at a neighborhood store so many people rely on.
Frustrated because, like, why? And inside the market, it's a school right here, literally right there.
And Stain ended up being the only one that died. 2 other people got hit. That hit was for Stain. And Stain them shot back. It's shell cases in front of the store, then it's shell cases down the block, which means motherfuckers was shooting at each other. Stain got out moving wrong. He was moving wrong. We seen the same thing happen with little Mister, man. We seen the same thing happen with Mikey, man. We seen the same thing happen with all these guys. You feel me? At the end of the day, demons taking out demons, man. It's crazy. Somebody asked me in the comments, well, SCN in your opinion, what would be the solution to all of this death that's going on? And the thing that I came up with, or one of the things that I came up with, is this. we were taught from babies how to be this way, right? So once we change our mindset, now we're able to teach our babies from babies. Reprogram them. We need to reprogram our whole culture and just let the ones that's already stuck in their ways and messed up go. If you got kids and your older kid is with this bullshit, you need to separate them from your younger kids. You know? Peep game. This is why Tony's mama in Scarface did not want him around Gina. She didn't want him around Gina.
I don't want you around Gina. So come on. Get out!
Why do you think she didn't want him around Gina? She didn't want her to experience what actually ended up happening to her. Because being around bullshit only begets bullshit. Real talk. So we gotta separate them shorties that's out here on crash out missions and want to be in the streets and smoking and doing drugs and all of this shit right here from our babies. Because he got a little brother. Even some of these fathers need to be separated from their children. Because of what they're seeing at a young age. When they get to 10 or 11, it's already damn near too late for them. That's how we stop it. We got to break that cycle. We got to get these shorties from when they babies, damn near. Because if we don't, and the street get a hold to them too early, you already know what's going to happen, man. Straight up, man. Senseless, man. But y'all know I'm here for it. Y'all know what I like to say. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. And try not to get slimed out, man.